Hi, I'm Eric Reisner from Stunt Kite Publishing. Thanks for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter campaign. I'm here to introduce you to AirMech Miniatures, a fast-paced action game based on the hit MOBA from Carbon Games. Designed by Mike Elliott and Ethan Pasternak, the designers of dozens of popular tabletop games between them, AirMech Miniatures is not just a game, it's a game system. Its simple, compact rules are built around a set of core mechanics that scale up, or down, simply and easily without sacrificing game balance, allowing players to decide how big their forces can be. The core rules are straightforward enough, but also include enough advanced options to suit all levels and styles of play, allowing for more strategic minis players to up the ante. Want a quick one-on-one battle that takes an hour? No problem, you can do that. Want a massive 4-player campaign that tests your tactical mettle and takes a while longer? Absolutely, you can do that too. So now that you know how we built it, let's give you an overview of the game system. Like the video game on which it's based, AirMech Miniatures is a classic arena combat game mixed with some capture the flag mechanics and a few unique twists. Each player has a fortress, and the first player to destroy their enemy's fortress wins. Between these fortresses are capturable buildings called outposts that players can seize to gain advantages on the field. Each side's army is built around a single big figure, your AirMech, which is basically an aircraft that transforms into a huge fighting robot when it lands. On the ground, the baby is a powerful fighting figure, capable of directing fierce attacks at your enemies. In the air, however, your AirMech becomes a logistical powerhouse. It's the only thing that can pick up, carry, and deploy the rest of your units into the fight. You build those units in your fortress or in a captured outpost for your AirMech to load up and deploy. In our game, each AirMech comes with a double-sided card, one that shows its ground stats, and the other side shows its air stats. Units an AirMech picks up are placed onto its card on the grid, and then placed on the map once deployed. Each AirMech comes with a deck of upgrade cards, which you get to choose from during the setup and periodically in the game to add to your mech. The cards fit under your AirMech cards so that you can easily see the bonuses from them and other things like pilots. Your upgrades all stack to show the entire string of bonuses to make the addition easy, and so when you flip the card over to transform your AirMech, the bonuses are still visible since they modify the stats of either mode. Because AirMechs are so fast in the air, we created a 2-tiered map system. The whole map is gridded for use with units and AirMechs on the ground, but we also added larger scale divisions called sectors, which are outlined in white. These are the squares that AirMechs will use in flight, making its movement count for much more when it's in the air. Even better, your AirMech gets to move more often than the other units do, 3 times as often to be precise, which makes the pace of the action very, very fast and exciting, just like in the video game. So let's talk about the rest of the figures in the game, your units. These figures vary greatly in their utility. Infantry can capture buildings. Vehicles tend to have the most variety of abilities and speed, while tanks generally have the heaviest armor and can soak up the most damage. You produce units using the power your AirMech produces each round. Spending its cost in power puts one of that unit into your production queue, which is on the AirMech tracking card that comes with each AirMech. Whenever your AirMech flies over your fortress or an outpost you've captured, you can spend a movement point to pick up the next available figures in your production queue. So in this game, your AirMech can give a unit type an order whenever it drops one off, which tells all units of that type what to do. There are 4 types of orders: attack, hold, capture, and patrol. These are all detailed on a single 2-sided order card, which is designed to tuck under the units just like the upgrades do on the AirMechs. One order card comes with each unit card, and they contain simple instructions that you will be able to follow when it's time to move those units. Combat in AirMech is very straightforward. Since it represents a lot of fighting going on at once, we've simplified it down to a single roll that's made at the end of each movement segment. There's one segment for each class of unit: infantry, vehicles, and tanks. In this single roll, you roll a whole bunch of dice to see how many hits you can score. Each unit that's within its range of an enemy figure or building contributes its attack dice to the roll. Each side rolls their dice, then each player assigns the resulting hits to any of their units that are within an enemy's range, adjusting for armor before doing actual damage until they're destroyed. As you can see with our primitive prototypes here, the action goes on pretty fast, so there's a lot of blowing stuff up to be done. But don't worry, while the total forces you can deploy at one time is limited to the number of figures in your loadout, your units that get destroyed always go back into your reserves and can be built and deployed again as soon as you put them into production. Even your AirMech resurrects when it gets destroyed, which makes even big losses on the field a mere temporary setback instead of the agonizing descent into total defeat that can be in many other miniatures games. There are 2 victory conditions in AirMech Miniatures. First, Any player who captures an opposing fortress wins the game. Secondly, you can win by experience. Before each match, players agree on an XP value cap. The first player to reach the cap is the winner. So that's the basics. Build units, deploy them, and fight! We hope that you've enjoyed this gameplay video and that you're as excited to back AirMech Miniatures as we were to make it. Thanks again for taking the time to look at our campaign and watch this video, and I'll see you in the comments section.